It recently came out this past week that NHL viewership is reportedly down 22% from last year, which is unfortunate, especially because the NHL just signed TV deals with both TNT and ESPN, which most people thought would help to grow the game and make it more accessible to the casual or new fan. Much of this is due to the fact that games are getting increasingly more difficult to watch with all the different streaming services people have to use, the fact that a lot of fans don't want to have to pay a ridiculous amount for cable, and also that the schedule makers don't always stagger the games in a way where it's even possible to watch more than a game or two in a single night. And while all these are certainly valid, another big reason why I think viewership isn't as high as it could be, and why hockey is only the 5th most popular sport in the US, is because for the most part, the league's players don't have the personalities, or at least show off their personalities like a lot of the players in the NBA and NFL. Most of the biggest stars in hockey don't get the chance to show off who they really are very often, and usually prefer to just lay low and stay humble. This makes sense because hockey has traditionally always been about putting the team first and not making it about yourself. But I think if the NHL ever wants to get closer to being one of the most popular sports in the US and around the world, they need more players that are willing to showcase their personalities and have more fun with the sport, not always taking it so seriously. One player who, in his short time in the National Hockey League so far, has shown off his personality quite a bit is Anaheim Ducks forward Trevor Zegras. Zegras is in his second full NHL season and has had some moments on the ice that have gone viral not only in the hockey world, but the entire sports world in general. And he's coupled that with his electric personality and flair off the ice that has quickly made him one of the most popular players in the league and has even gotten him on the cover of the NHL 23 video game. Zegras understands that hockey as a sport is in the business of entertainment, and not only does he put on a show during the games, but he also recognizes that the NHL needs more of that flair and personality that the more popular sports have in excess, specifically the NBA and NFL. He comes from the generation who grew up watching guys like Pavel Datsyuk and Patrick Kane, and Zegras even acknowledges that he grew up idolizing Kane's game, which is why they're pretty similar in a lot of ways now. And while Kane and Datsyuk were both extremely fun to watch on the ice, they didn't always have the big personality that Zegras seems to and is very much willing to embrace, unlike a lot of the other stars in the game. And in my opinion, it does seem like there is a new wave of young players who are showcasing their skill and also mixing in their personality. Jack Hughes has had some funny interviews this year and is a lot like Trevor Zegras in some ways. The Kachuk brothers are also a couple guys that I think have shown and will continue to show off their personalities. And I'm sure there will be more to come in the coming years after seeing a bit of change in the culture and how the game operates. But I also want to say that it's certainly not all on the players. There are a bunch of guys around the league who are really funny, like to have a good time, and don't take the game too seriously. You can look at Brad Marchand, David Pastrnak, and Alex Ovechkin to name a few. But there are plenty of others as well, and the league needs to do a better job of marketing their stars and letting them showcase more of their personalities if they want to. The game of hockey itself is extremely exciting, and the product is arguably as good as it has ever been, certainly in terms of skill and speed. So if the NHL can get some more players to be like Zegras and showcase a little more of who they really are, hockey could explode in popularity and become one of the fastest rising sports in the world. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me that more players need to show off their personalities, and tell me who you think are some of the funniest and most interesting guys in the league right now.